My name is Bien-Aimé, and I'm a hospital chaplain. When somebody sees the chaplain coming, they often think bad news. I get called the angel of death, the grim reaper, or worse yet, I don't get called at all because people have some preconceived notion of what my role is and how religious I'll be. My role, when done right, is not just embracing religion, but instead mixing together religion, research, science, and spirituality. If you've read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you may recall Covey's quadrants, 4 boxes that describe the types of issues we deal with day to day. As a chaplain, I live in quadrant 1. Everything is urgent and important. A trauma is coming, a patient is coding, someone just died, and there's a family member literally on the floor crying. I'm always running from page to page, and I'm often doing the things that people expect from a chaplain: prayer, ritual, and brief counseling. In the most chaotic moments, I'm doing the most routine practices. But to be a better chaplain, I need to embrace quadrant 2. I'm still going to respond to all those urgent pages and do all the things that people expect, but to move from spiritual care to spiritual health, I need to move to the important but non-urgent. This is where science meets spirituality. Here, I want to do research. I dream of big research projects that help experiment with what brings resilience to those most in danger of burning out. Music, art, meditation. We have so many rich experiences in our places of worship. But in the fast-paced world of the hospital, our staff don't have time for 4 worship songs, a 20-minute sermon, and an hour of fellowship. We need to do research to find the most effective ways to heal the soul when all we see are wounds. When I think of my heroes, I think of Christina Pachowski and the work she's done. Countless studies on interventions for medical personnel, like creating reflective rounds for third-year medical students wrestling with compassion fatigue. Or of Jonathan Bartels, who did a study on the pause, a moment of reflection and silence after a patient's death. His study has been replicated around the country and has revealed a practice to help staff feel grounded and able to move on to the next patient after they experience trauma. These giants in the world of spirituality and health might make it seem like research is too big for just me, or for my department or my congregation, but each of us can marry spirituality and science in our own lives. When we treat these two ideas as friends and not sworn enemies, we can live a spiritually healthy life. Recently, I sat down with an anxious man in the ICU. He was facing a major surgery in a few weeks, and he was stuck in the hospital until then. He was being offered the chaplain, and he immediately turned me away. He said to me, "I was raised Catholic, and that stuff doesn't work for me." But after a week of anxiety, he thought, what the heck, I'll try it, I'll try anything. And so I came in with my toolbox. I came in with coloring books, silent meditation, guided meditation. I came in with essential oils, music, YouTube clips, centering prayer, and techniques based in Ignatian spirituality. He had a new journal, some sacred text, poetry, and all sorts of readings. We did an experiment with a sample size of 1. We held each practice gently. When something worked, we kept it and looked for more things like it. When it didn't, we put it away and asked why it fell flat. These are basic concepts in the scientific method, but it allowed us to journey together towards better spiritual health. He incorporated some of these practices in his day-to-day. He threw some of them out, and he bought coloring books for all of his friends. Sometimes we can get stuck in the idea that science is intense and intellectual, and religion is rigid. But when we bring the two together, when we let them move together and create space where it is safe to try and fail, where each failure is actually giving us hope for something new. The experiment is the journey is the healing, and in that healing there is hope. Science and spirituality, religion and research, when we use these well and we use them together, we can give ourselves space to find greater wholeness and give others permission to do the same.